Well, welcome to Crimson Conversations here with Harvard Basketball. I have with me Kathy Delaney-Smith, the Friends of Harvard Basketball women's basketball coach, and Tommy Amaker, the Thomas G. Stenberg 71 family head coach for Harvard men's basketball. We're going to spend a little time today talking about Ivy League basketball, the recent decisions by both Harvard and the Ivy League regarding winter competition. Just get an overall state of the program and just have a conversation around how you all and your programs are handling this pandemic. Let's start first with Kathy and your reaction to the Ivy League's decision regarding a winter sport competition, where on November 12th, the Ivy League presidents announced that there will be no competition for winter sports in the 2020-21 academic year. So what was your kind of immediate response and reaction to that decision by the presidents?
Well, obviously it was extremely disappointing, but I would say we were prepared. So I think being prepared and anticipating that being the decision allowed us to handle it a little better. And that's how my staff and I have handled it. And also my student athletes, I'm amazed at and I'm amazed at their energy to get past it and handle the disappointment. I'm really pleased with what I'm hearing from them. Things like, they are grateful for their time with their families, and they cherish this time that they otherwise haven't had in a long time because of, schedules. So we're getting through it, and it's the right decision. It's the safest decision, and as much as it hurts, I'm fully supportive of it.
And Tommy, what was your reaction, both from your perspective, but also the coaching staff, and how the staff kind of prepared for that decision and responded to that decision?
Well, Nathan, thanks first of all for having Kathy and me here for the conversations, or the Crimson Conversations, I guess, as we're titling this. And we're excited to have an opportunity to talk basketball, to talk Harvard, and to do it with you. So thank you. As Kathy mentioned, this was not something I think was very surprising, for us and our team and in our program, and maybe for all of Harvard athletics. And as Kathy also said, that we thought about it being a very tough decision to have to deliver to our kids, but I think they were prepared as well. I think they were anticipating this. I think they would have been probably stunned and shocked if it had gone the other way. So I think that was in the right way. It was a very tough decision, but yet we do think it was the right one, the safest one, and the one that, with our model and our mindset at Harvard, and certainly with the Ivy League, it certainly fit with the right perspective of who we are. And, I do feel like we're going to be better off for it as we get through it. And we do think that our kids have tried to look for small wins, finding things that we can, recognize, to have opportunities to learn and to grow, but also maintaining that attitude that we've had all along. And we've said the only attitude is gratitude.
I've been around this program for 17 years now, and the passion that our student athletes have for basketball is evident. I'll stop over to Levites, and you'll see some kids getting up shots in the morning and in the evening after a practice. And we've lost that opportunity right now to kind of be in the gym and around each other and practice together and obviously compete together as well. Tommy, let's start with you. What are the guys doing right now? Now that they're home, we had a few on campus this fall, but for the most part, they're spread out around the country, spread out around the world. And how are they staying in shape? How are they, competing and practicing and just kind of staying involved in basketball wherever they are?
Yeah, well, Nathan, first of all, they're trying to, we encouraging them, and hopefully they're doing it. They say they are, which is abiding by the protocols in their various communities. The guidelines of being safe and being smart. But we certainly know that it's limited in most places, and if not all places, of what they can do and the timing of things. And so we're understanding of the limited access to facilities, to gyms. but they're doing their best to take advantage of what they have. And we've talked about how I asked each one, we're all tired of Zooms in some ways. We're kind of Zoom fatigue in ways. But I did talk to them about asked them, does everyone have a basketball? And they said, yes. I said, well, there's one thing that we should be better at when we come back and we're able to kind of get back to our ball handling. There's no excuse for us not to be able to utilize the ball, dribble around the house. And if you get kicked out of the house, you can go outside. There's something you can do with the ball to dribble and be better at your weak hand. So we're looking for small wins. They've been great. Their spirit has been good. They followed each other. We follow them. And sometimes we're hoping that what they're saying that they're doing is actually truthful. So we'll see.
That reminds me of when I was a kid back in Indiana, and my basketball coach told me that when I laid in bed at night, I had 10 minutes before I went to sleep. I had to bring a basketball with me, lay down, and practice my wrist release before I went to sleep. That'd make me a better free throw shooter. Unfortunately, it did make me a better free throw shooter. But I certainly remember having that ball as well, and making sure I was taking advantage of opportunities when I wasn't in the gym. So that's great to hear. And Kathy, we had a few student athletes on campus this fall. Harvard allowed the first year cohort to come in and live in residence. We had about 188 student athletes on campus across our 42 sports. What did that look like with the athletes that you had here? How did you stay engaged with them, knowing that we had some small numbers and some protocols that we had to follow on campus? What did a normal sort of practice and basketball experience look like for your first years here?
Yeah, we had 3. And I was amazed at, number one, their attitudes and their work ethic. I think it's hard for a first year to come in and have 4 coaches staring at you, because they never had that many eyes on them in their entire life. And I think Tommy did this with his guys too. You go back to footwork and go back to fundamentals, and not that it's not fun. However, it's not fun. And what a remarkable class I have of first years. And I only have 3 of the 5 that will be coming to Harvard. And if they're any indication of our future, I'm really, really excited. There's a superstar. There's one of my young women that I haven't coached a sponge like her. Like, it doesn't matter what we had her do or what we said to her, she could put it into her game in the next drill. And that usually takes some time. So these 2-3 months with these kids, I think, was invaluable. And we do some ball handling challenges, like Tommy mentioned. My centers are all going to be ball handlers. We're going to be 5 out. We're not posting anyone up. We're going to take them off the dribble from the perimeter, because they're doing it on their decks. They're doing it in their cellars. I had a player who was doing it on her deck, and the ball went off the deck. And I'm not going to tell you whether she fell off the deck, but there's just very creative ways of practicing the game when you don't have your team or your gym. So it's kind of fun.
Let's talk college basketball from a national standpoint, and then also maybe a little NBA basketball as well. We saw late summer and early fall that the NBA developed this bubble in Florida. It worked incredibly well to restart their league and get through the playoffs and have a championship, and they'll restart again here in about 3 weeks. College basketball had pushed back their start date a couple of weeks. We're now seeing that start. They've created a couple little bubble tournaments, and then you'll largely see some conference competition here once we get through the next couple of weeks. But obviously incredible uncertainty around schedules and the ability to travel, the ability to complete the competition that is scheduled. And right now we're seeing about 20% of the Division I basketball games get canceled or postponed due to outbreaks within a program. And it's been hard to watch for me, I'm a huge college basketball fan, always have been. And yet there's so many changes to the schedule that it's hard to keep up. It's hard to get super engaged with what's happening just based on the incredible uncertainty that we're seeing. And so I guess my question to both of you is, are you watching college basketball right now? Are you staying up to date on what's happening nationally, or are you using this time to sort of take a little break and recharge the batteries and find other leadership and teaching opportunities? And Kathy, we'll start with you here with this one. What's your plan right now for watching college basketball?
You're going to get me to confess to this is the pain. I feel like the fact that all my friends get to go to practice and are looking forward to a game sort of, I'll be honest, twist the knife with me. I struggle with that, but at the same time, I'm scared to death for them. So I have given myself a little break until the last, I think yesterday was I couldn't stand not watching anymore, so I started to watch, and I will watch. But I'm fearful for what's going to happen. I feel it's unsafe. And so I'm nervous about it. So, but I will watch it. I'm a junkie. I will watch it.
Tommy, what about you?
Yeah, Nathan, I'm in and out with it a little bit. I'm not as I normally would be, intrigued to see games and excited. And I think there's something that's obviously a lot's been taken away from it with, the empty facilities and arenas, and it just doesn't have the same appeal to me to watch it from a viewer standpoint. And I have had a lot of my friends and colleagues that are playing and are participating that they've actually have said to me, and I don't know if they're just trying to make me feel better, but they that we're doing the right thing. Yeah. That there really are, in a lot of ways are, unsure how this is going to. No one knows obviously that's how it's going to shake out. But I think that has taken away from how the game has been played and what's coming next. Are you going to have games? Is it going to get canceled? And playing in facilities that no one's. It's like the scrimmages that we normally would have. With other teams that in a normal year, we would have some teams that we'd scrimmage, whether it's home or away, and no one could be in the facility. And that's kind of what it looks like. And they've said that's what it feels like. So, but I'm also trying to take this time to see of finding different things that as you mentioned, that I can do personally that I normally wouldn't have the chance to do, which is to have some more, to read more, to learn more, to find different ways, not just through basketball, but outside of basketball, to kind of enlighten myself to different thoughts and ideas, whether that's for leadership or just for fun. So I'm trying.
I have just one last topic here I'd like to get to, and that's recruiting. And, we've seen the NCAA extend a recruiting dead period that, started last March when we were, sent home to remote work, and the NCAA just extended the dead period through the end of the college basketball season. So, really not an opportunity to have students on campus, have recruits on campus, not an opportunity right now to go out and watch recruits. How has this pandemic affected your ability to recruit the outstanding scholar athletes that we're used to seeing in Levites? And let's start with you, Tommy, with this one, and just, a little overview on how recruiting has gone, and what you see happening moving forward with this pandemic.
Yeah, well, it obviously, as you mentioned, the dead period has changed everything for all of us, and how long that's been. And so ever since the spring, everyone has probably been doing their Zoom calls and presentations and virtual tours of campus to show student athletes and show prospective kids what it looks like here at Harvard. And because they can't get here, or if they do get here, we're not allowed to have any interaction with them, on campus or off campus. And so our actual recruiting has just been with, through electronic, with the Zoom calls, and our staff has been amazing, Nathan. I mean, we have an outstanding group of staff members that have done a tremendous job. We were really fortunate because we got out in front of the recruitment, having kids on campus before everything got shut down. And so that really helped us going forward. But now we're just doing what everybody else is doing, trying to build a relationship through Zoom, through calls and electronically, and so digitally. And so that's all that we can do. And that's all that they can do as well. And so they're understanding of everything. And once things change and move in a different direction, hopefully we're in position to have the right kids to take a look at us and to get them on campus and try to meet with them face to face.
That's awesome. Thank you for that. So we're hearing a little bit about the relationship building with recruits. Kathy, can you talk a little bit about how you evaluate recruits in this remote environment? Are you able to watch them if they're competing right now in an AAU or a high school basketball game? And what's your opportunities right now to evaluate their basketball skills.
Yeah. That I think is the biggest challenge for us. Although I do feel that doing everything remote, we lose the feeling of being on the campus. Like I have always felt Harvard is a special place. And when you come and visit it and you walk across the river or you hang around any of our buildings, it just has a special feeling to it. So, as good as our remote presentations are, they're just not the same. We are doing a lot of Zoom because I think my staff is also phenomenal, and they're really, really good on Zoom. They're natural. They're like movie stars. So I think the challenge is evaluating. We did a great job. My staff did a great job with this class and next year's class, but trying to get the young kids in our database right now, we lost that from last summer. We don't have great evaluations of the younger classes, and I'm not a big fan of evaluating. I think evaluating in person gives you a much better sense than evaluating on film. So we've lost that. And so we're really going to have to work hard to get the evaluations of the younger classes where we want them. But I think other than that, my staff has done an unbelievable job with this class.
Great. Well, thank you both so much for this conversation here today around college basketball and Harvard basketball, and really just a peek under the hood around what's happening with Harvard basketball, both from student athlete standpoint and then a recruiting standpoint as well. Really appreciate your time today. And again, thank you for joining us for this Crimson Conversation featuring Harvard basketball with head coach Tommy Amaker and head coach Kathy Delaney-Smith. Thanks again for the time.